HindsCulture collaboration. So I'm just going to make the first design and then go from there. Me and Gadain are probably going to go back and forth and then change a few things, and yeah. Going to change the canvas from portrait to landscape. Zoom it all in using Command and 0. And then I'm just going to start with basics. So just starting the initial text. Me and Ripple Beats are going to go from a countdown. So 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, and then we're going to release the actual design. So you'll have something like tangible to see each day, and then we'll go from there. So what you're going to see first. Continue the usual HindsCulture colour themes of red and black, so you'll be able to see the red and black throughout the piece. And well, obviously it's not just me, it's also Ripple Beats, so we're gonna have like blues, purples and red, so you'll see. Now we have the initial design. It's pretty simple and clean. We have 5 days and then the black and red text, and now I'm just going to start adding initial graphics to make it more poster like. So I'm going to duplicate the layer, now I'm going to hold shift, resize a little bit, then I'm going to rotate it slightly. Okay. And now I'm going to change the colour of this layer to red. And now I'm going to duplicate the layer, then go to edit, go to transform, flip horizontal. Now I'm going to move the initial one that I made around here. Move up there. And now my original 5, I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to hold shift again, making it a little bit bigger so that the text can go behind. But again, I'm going to change the colour. I am going, oh, 1 second. I'm going to change the colour to that and move that layer behind. And then move it up, move it around slightly. Yeah. And then we're going to finish it there for a moment. So that was the first part of the collaboration. We're going to make 5 designs, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release the actual first design of the Ripple Beats HindsCulture collaboration. Thank you.
So I just got the design from Reese, and what I've done is move the 2 red 5s behind the black 5 here. And I have an idea. My idea basically is just to have some kind of lines going out of these fives here, and we have some words on the side. So to do that, what I'm going to do is first make a new layer and get a preset brush, because I feel more comfortable working that way. I could use the pen tool, but I don't think I could create something as effective. So I'm just going to find a brush. Which one did I want? Something with a curvy line, which I think was this, yeah. This one here. Let me just make it bigger so it fits. So what I'm doing right now is just matching up kind of as close as I can to the 5, so I can have to do a little edit to it, and I think make it a bit smaller. Yeah, that works. So I'll just click there and press Command T to get into transform, and then I'll just move it around to what I want. About there, I think is good. Move it in a bit, honest. Alright, so whoops. So once I've got it into place, what I'm going to do is click next to the where it's got the tick and the no entry kind of sign to warp it. You can also go to edit, transform and warp to get to here. And what this does is you can just move the lines around, well, warp them, so you kind of wrap it around the 5. And get as close as I can without kind of disforming that line, without looking too distorted. So now it's matched. Kind of feel it needs to go out a bit more. Yeah, that looks cool. I just press Command and Enter to get rid of the box. So go back into transform and just rotate a little bit more. Maybe move it down a bit as well. I think I need to warp it one more time. So Command T back into warp. There. A bit out. There you go. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to make a new layer and use the same brush but choose a bigger size of it. About 1200. Yeah, it's about a bit bigger. About there. Yeah, that should be good. So I'll just click again, do the same kind of thing again, but this time I don't want it to follow the line I currently done. Maybe a bit smaller actually. So I want it to kind of just go away from that line, but still follow this 5. Okay. Yeah, about there's fine. Might not need to warp this. And just make it a bit larger and bring it in. Yeah. So what I'm doing here is just making kind of wavy lines from brushes. I don't think I need to warp that. So as you can see here, there's this line going into the 5s here, which I don't want. So what I'll do is press E to get the eraser tool and just erase that line. As you can see, it just goes away. I think the splatter that comes with this here from this brush is pretty good, so I'll keep that there. And just not to go too much. So what I want to do now is copy this onto the other side. So to do that, I will select these layers by holding Command and clicking on them, and then dragging them down to the create new layer. And when I do that, it creates a duplicate. So from there I can just press Command T to get into transform and then flip it horizontally. So to get to that you go Command, Transform, Flip Horizontal. So click that and as you can see it's flipped. So what I do now is holding Shift to keep it in a straight line, just drag it across and match it up as much as I can. So this 5 is just a little bit down low, so I'll just use the arrow keys to match it up. And may need to rotate it a bit more. Bring it down. I find it easier sometimes to use the arrow keys rather than the mouse because Photoshop is so used to snapping into places. I mean, you could turn the snap off, but then it becomes a bit more difficult as well. So just trying to match this up. I think if I bring it out, there a bit more. Okay, and then resize again. I usually just hold Shift to keep the scale correct so it doesn't ever get out of place. And then again using arrow keys just to put it into place. Okay, so that's about good. If you can see in the middle there's also some sort of line coming from this brush. So again I want to take that out. So I need to find, yeah, it's this layer here. So just erase that from there. And again I'm keeping the spatter there as well because I think it looks good. And yeah, that's about it for this part. So just added some lines onto it and then develop the design from there, see how we can go, if we can add some text to either side from those lines. But yeah, for now that's about it.
Okay, so now we're going to finish the first of the 5 designs, the 5-day design. All I'm going to add now is the HindsCulture and Ripple Beats to the actual design itself, so our text, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So firstly, obviously, if you want to do hotkeys, I just went to T to open up the text. I'm going to type now in letter size 40, HindsCulture. Select all of my text, go to what text what font I want, and I'm going to type in Beavis, which is the HindsCulture text. I'm highlighting part of the actual word in HindsCulture and making half of it red, half of it black. And then from there, I'm going to highlight all of it, go to Arch, and see to 50 plus 50. From there, I'm going to hold, maybe not, going to rotate and move it in, and then secondly I'm going to then create the Ripple Beats text, so Ripple, and then changing my font color to red. Seeing as Ripple Beats as a word isn't as long as HindsCulture, I'm not going to arch it as much. So with HindsCulture I made it plus 50, and for Ripple Beats I'm going to do plus 43. And my mouse seems to be going a bit crazy. There we go. I'm just moving it pixel by pixel to get it exactly accurate. to where I would like it. And for those people who like to be very accurate with their work and when they're designing things, if you go to View, New Guide, Horizontal, a guide will come up from the top here. You drag it down and it will allow you to make sure that you can have both your text layers on the same line, which mine are now, both of them are now, and then you can drag it away and it just deletes that, and now the design is pretty much finished. What me and Ripple have kind of decided is we're going to have each day the complexity of the designs is going to improve and get better. So how you can see it's really simple right now and it's kind of like stripped back. On day 4 we're going to add a bit more, so it's going to have more effects and more designs to it, and then day 3, 2, 1 and it's going to be building to like a bigger final design, and then you're obviously going to see our first design that we collaborated on, and that's going to be the introductory. So thank you very much and hope you watch next week.